Hi guys, I'm Pravesh.
And I'm Richard.
Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about MX7000 platform and specifically running VMware Cloud Foundation on MX7000 platform.
Yes. So VCF on MX. Why VCF on MX? I guess is a question
Correct.
that a lot of people ask. So specifically, I think why VCF on MX is a unique thing that we can do on that MX platform that isn't possible on any other Dell platforms, and that is that composability and being able to reallocate compute and storage resource on the fly for the
On the fly, on the
VCF.
dynamic.
Yeah,
And don't forget the ability to create the smart fabric combined with the power of open managed modular VMware Cloud Foundation and the power of the PowerEdge hardware all combined together to provide you the best possible outcome for your business within your own data center. So let's deep dive into it now.
yes. So let's have a quick look at what is MX, I guess, is where we start. So what is MX Modular Infrastructure? So the Dell EMC PowerEdge MX is a completely redesigned, high-performance modular infrastructure that enables customers to have the flexibility to configure and optimize their IT infrastructure for a wide variety of new and traditional workload types. Designed with Dell EMC kinetic infrastructure, PowerEdge MX it's great for all sorts of different workloads, including dense virtualization, a broad set of software-defined type workloads, so like software-defined storage or HCI, and even moving to some of those new sort of emerging workloads like data analytics or those big data environments. Kinetic infrastructure is a term that we're introducing, that Dell EMC introducing, that defines true composability. That is disaggregation of compute and storage and networking resources into shared pools that are available for on-demand allocation and reallocation. So it's a dynamic IT infrastructure that instantly responds and adapts and evolves to shifting needs. Because whilst we can't predict what the future is, we can try and plan for it. So the flexibility of configuration down to individual storage devices and the way that memory is allocated, all of that will be available in the future using what Dell calls kinetic infrastructure. So that's the sort of high-level marketing pitch, if you will, on MX. What is it? So at its core, it is a 7RU chassis that takes compute, storage, and networking all within that single chassis, all managed by our familiar Open Managed Enterprise interface. So there are what would traditionally be called chassis management controllers. They now run Open Managed Enterprise, or a particular version of Open Managed Enterprise called Open Managed Enterprise Modular. And we're able to put, like I said, compute, networking, because of that kinetic infrastructure and that no mid-plane design for fabrics A and B, it doesn't matter what that fabric is that goes into A and B. Right now, we support 100 gig Ethernet. 400 gig Ethernet is already roadmapped, and the intention is to support Gen Z or whatever that sort of far future completely disaggregated hyperspeed fabric might look like. Because we don't have a mid-plane there, then we'll be able to support that because we can install the networking cards, the engines into the back of the chassis, and then the compute sleds slot directly into those fabrics.
Richard, that was a very good overview on MX7000 platform capabilities.
Yeah, so hopefully that gave everyone just that high-level view on what the MX is. Let's also take a quick look at and dive a little bit deeper into the networking or the fabric capabilities with the MX. And we'll just have a quick discussion on Smart Fabric Mode versus full switch mode. So I just want to cover off smart fabric services for the MX Modular platform. In particular though, before we get into that, I want to just talk about some naming. So we have smart fabric services. We also have smart fabric. So smart fabric is the name of the OS 10 that we run on our data center switches. On top of that, we have smart fabric services. And smart fabric services comes in 3 flavors. We have smart fabric services for data center, we have smart fabric services for traditional storage, and smart fabric services for modular infrastructure. That is, in this scenario, we're talking about an MX9116N fabric switching engine in an MX7000 modular chassis. And in particular, I want to quickly go through the differences between smart fabric mode and full switch mode. But before we jump to that, what are smart fabric services? So, smart fabric services provide an autonomous fabric deployment, expansion, and lifecycle management facility for our smart fabric switches. It provides an integrated and elastic fabric for our CI, HCI, and MX solutions. And overall, it's basically there to and designed to simplify the management and to automate data center fabric creation and ongoing management. So I'm not going to go through everything in the table here. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this is probably capable of reading, but it is important to understand that smart fabric services, whilst they provide a great deal of operational efficiency and are designed to enable systems admins, and I mean systems admins versus someone who may be more familiar or trained as a network admin, it provides those systems admins the capability of managing that network, that fabric that we deploy as part of that MX solution. But it might not always be the correct choice depending on use case. So, a quick traffic light view here on the differences between the two. The capabilities are very similar really, but there are some differences, and sometimes they can be the deciding factor on what way you might deploy that fabric switching engine within your MX solution. So hopefully that gives everyone just a quick overview on the smart fabric capabilities of the MX platform versus running MX in full switch mode. So Pravesh, how do we actually build the fabric out?
That's a very good question, Richard. Let's have a quick look now. Building a smart fabric on MX7000 chassis can be very straightforward and quick process. Let me demonstrate that to you now. Before we start, let's have a quick look at the command line interface to verify there are no VLANs or port channels configured within this environment. We shall now begin to build the smart fabric using the Open Manage Enterprise modular interface. To begin, navigate to the Fabric menu within the Open Manage Enterprise modular and click on Add Fabric button. We now need to provide this smart fabric a meaningful name and description. We need to select the design. In this example, I will select the 9116N Smart Fabric engine. Once we have selected the design type, we need to select the chassis and the switches that will be participating in this fabric design. An interesting point to note here, the video you are seeing in this demonstration hasn't been edited in any form. The events happening in this video are pretty much happening in real time. So you can see how quick and easy the process of building a fabric within two MX7000 chassis is. In this final step, we need to select the switch ports and associate the tagged network traffic for these uplinks and click Finish. Open Manage Enterprise Modular will now go ahead and create the smart fabric as we have defined. Open Manage Enterprise Modular provides a built-in dashboard where the administrators can visualize the current health and status of the smart fabric like the one we have just finished building. Before we finish this demo, let's have a quick look again at the command line interface and verify the VLANs and the port links created. So guys, that was a quick overview on how to build a smart fabric. Hopefully you had a good understanding of it.
Cool. And so now that we've built that cloud fabric, mate, how do we start to build VCF on top of that?
That's a very good question again, Richard. I'll give you full points for that. So before we start going and building VCF, we need something called a Cloud Builder appliance. Cloud Builder is a separate piece of virtual appliance that needs to be deployed externally to your VCF fabric that you're currently deploying. That essentially requires an input file or a parameter file. Essentially, that is an Excel spreadsheet.
An Excel spreadsheet.
Yep, on
Yep.
steroids you can think of.
Yep.
And you provide all the parameters about your specific environment. So your host names, IP address, passwords, and things like that.
Yes.
Once you provide that information and upload it to your Cloud Builder VM, the Cloud Builder VM then connects to your MX Fabric environment and builds the cloud automatically.
Right.
So it is that simple.
That's the magic of VCF, right? Is really this, from a day one implementation point of view at least, is this Cloud Builder appliance and its ability to take the input from I'll say a simple spreadsheet, because I think anyone can really sort of get their head around a spreadsheet and enter details in a spreadsheet, and effectively automate that entire build operation.
Absolutely. The one caveat that you would have is, and I would say this probably qualifies for most of our customers anyway, the VCF appliance and the builder spreadsheet, both are only available if the customer is licensed for VCF.
Yes.
Otherwise, they would not see this in their VMware download directory.
That is a little gotcha that we have discovered here, isn't it? Is that if you don't have the license for VCF, you unfortunately can't even get the spreadsheet and start thinking about what you might want to do. So, yeah. But once you've got that, and once you've got that virtual appliance, then how does it look to actually run through and do the build?
Well, let me show that to you right now and see how simple it is. A quick note here. VCF build deployment is a lengthy process. It can take several hours to complete. In the interest of time, I have sped up these videos and only captured the required steps for this process. I have already deployed the Cloud Builder appliance externally to my MX7000 setup. Before we begin, we need to go through a checklist to confirm all the prerequisites have been met before we can kick off the VCF build. We need to provide the configuration or the parameter files to this Cloud Builder appliance. It will now go ahead and validate your environment against the values provided within this parameter files. Once all the tests have been passed, you can click Next. This will now kick off the cloud building process. At the end of this process, our VMware Cloud Foundation environment is ready to take the workloads. I hope this video provided you a good overview on bringing up of VMware Cloud Foundation using the VMware Cloud Foundation Builder appliance. So that was a quick overview on how to use the Cloud Builder appliance to build your VCF environment. Hopefully that will give you a good overview, good understanding of the process.
And how easy it is as well, mate, right? Like now that you've done that, that's it, right? The whole environment, your ESXi cluster, storage, networking, it has all been done. And now you've got an environment ready to run workloads. It's just that simple. It's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that brings the power of Dell PowerEdge behind you, all the work that Dell has done, including Open Managed Modular, the iDRAC, and obviously the power from our partners such as VMware that goes into it and provides that power within your own data center.
Yes. Fantastic.
So that concludes our video on VCF on MX7000 platform. I hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.
See you guys.
See you guys.